Hello there, my name is Sammy and welcome to another edition of my Stream Theory playthrough of Assassin's Creed 4. Had a eventful episode last time. Oh, I keep forgetting to introduce the whole premise of my series. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget, so I'll remember to do that right now. My Stream Theory playthrough is all about me playing the game live for you, while also providing commentary and analysis as I go. I'm gonna get better about making sure I say that stuff. I don't know what it is about Assassin's Creed 4 specifically that keeps making me forget to do that. In any case, last time I didn't really do any story missions. Let me see. What we did do was a lot of exploration and did my first fort, or I captured my first fort. I attempted this one over here, and that was a little bit too tough, especially since I was fighting some of its boat guards, naval fleet guards, at the same time. So it was barely made it out of there alive, but this one managed to destroy its naval defenses and got in, took over the fort. So I guess when you take over a fort, each and every one of these, I guess you can call them districts, quadrants of the map, they have their own fort, which governs the locus of control in the area. So I guess forts belong to the Templars, I suppose, or a governing power that are in league with the Templars. So once you take it over, you can you get control of the area and you learn all of its secrets. Kind of like a grander sync point for the whole area, for the whole quadrant. That was the major thing I did there. I think I did a few other minor side quests. So also opens up a lot of things here, like there are naval missions and also assassin contracts here as well. So since we're here, I think might as well start up with that right away. Let me do. Yeah, this is contract. This is another contract here.
Want to go low profile?
Oh right, this is the wanted level. I actually do have some wanted level on me right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Don't quite want to get some hunters on me right now. So this is the naval mission. Let's see what that's all about. Naval contract. But for a story recap, probably worth doing that. Right now, we're in a period after a major story event happened, or a grouping of missions happened where. Let me read this before I do the actual story recap. Greetings, Pirateer. A villainous Spanish captain is responsible for slaying a number of my employees, most brutally and callously, board his ship and put an end to his life so that others may be spared such a fate. Signed, Milo van der Graaf, honest businessman and friend. Alright, sure. Looks like it's 3 out of... There's a difficulty of like 5 bars, 3 out of 5. And a handsome reward. So let's see what that means. I guess 3 out of 5 is some sort of medium difficulty. So, naval contract means sailing. If there's anything else I want to get done on this island. I could go to the harbor master, but I think that's all that necessary. Hopefully my ship is actually repaired. Oh, I meant to check out why I can't repair my ship properly in the harbor master. So I'll do that after the stream. Okay, it is fully done. So, back to the story recap. We recently got through a major point in the story where we were given the proper motivation, or at least a little bit more clarity regarding Edward's motivation here. Oh, wow, our fort here kind of takes care of enemy ships. Interesting. So it seems like the whole point of this is that Edward is going after a precursor trinket known as the Observatory, and along with that, there's an important person related to the Observatory known as the Sage, and we saw a lot of that when we were dealing with the Templars earlier. It's over there. Earlier in the game, those missions. We saw the Sage, we dealt with him. We didn't really know what all that was about. We were still fairly new to the situation, both Edward and me as the player. All these things were fresh and new to us because this is basically a entirely new story arc in the Assassin's Creed series. So when we went to the Assassin Stronghold, as we were invited by James Kidd, they told us, they gave us a little bit more clarity about the Observatory. Now, I still believe that Edward Kenway's motivation going forward is still not that strong. It's fairly weak. I think his only interest in going after all this stuff is how much it benefits him, how much he can earn out of it, and you know, that seems fairly weak. I'd rather he had also like perhaps a more stronger personal motivation in this, a personal stake. I'm not sure what that could be, but for now, you know, it's something better than what it was before. As far as what he knows about the precursors, he probably knows next to nothing. I'm not even sure he's aware of all that stuff. He's basically scratching the surface regarding all that. So, going forward, we're looking for an artifact known as the Observatory. That's what the main missions are for. Right now, we are in between main missions, and we're just mostly exploring. And right now, I'm doing a naval contract, and I'm to. Looks like right now, I'm going to take out this ship to board and attack a specific target. Let's take out the ship's like bodyguard. I don't know. They're guarding ships here. To weaken the main ship. Oh, these little ships are no problem. Cutting through them like butter. Okay, all the little ships are down. Now it's just me and the big one. My objective is to board, and I have a specific target who's on the ship I'm looking for. It's fairly simple, and basically, because I've been diligent about upgrading my ship, and because I've gotten much better at the whole naval combat thing, as you've seen from previous episodes, I went through a lot of frustration in that regard, and I think going through that experience has allowed me to get much more efficient at doing this stuff, as well as making sure I have all of the resources I need for this naval combat. So now that we're seeing that practice be put into work here. Alright, jump clear past. I don't think I wanted him to do that, but we have to deal with it now. Alright. Looks like a standard boarding mission so far. Let's see what the next part of this is. Okay, well, I don't need any repairs, so I'll send to the fleet. Alright, that was it. It was just, basically an assassin contract, but on the sea. Basically, I guess that's what that means. Okay. One thing I have to, maybe one thing I want to try and do from here on out is mark where these contracts are in the description of my archives. Because they do all have names. It looks like Naval Contract 2, Law of the Ocean. Assuming the assassin contracts are similar, I don't know. There are just too many of them to keep track of. So far, I've only marked down main missions. I'll have to think about it. Would add a significant amount of time just to reviewing and then writing those or marking those time codes in the description. Descriptions are something that most people don't even look at when they watch YouTube videos. But okay, enough of that. Not that important to talk about regarding analysis of the game here. So I'm playing the game how I like to play it, which is I guess what I call a directed exploration, where in general I head over in the direction of my next main mission, but I make all the pit stops along the way wherever I can. So I still get to explore, but I'm also, in general, I'm heading in the direction of my the main mission, and I can continue on with that at the same time. That's the type of rhythm I've adopted with most Assassin's Creed games. I could, however, if I decide to, I could just go this way and explore everything down here, which is the complete opposite direction of the main mission. I mean, I'm totally free to do that. But you know, as far as what I feel like doing, what I feel like doing in the game is partially tied to what the game itself has motivated me to do. I mean, any game worth its salt will provide you with reasons for doing what you want to do in the game. Provide you with reasons for doing anything in the game. I mean, in theory, ideally, a game that offers a variety of systems will give you reasons to do and approach every little thing in the game. If there are things that you find yourself not doing, well then you could argue that the game has not done its due diligence, has not made sure to motivate you to do those things. What the heck is this ship doing? It's going on a collision course. What's on this ship? Metal. I don't really care right now. Just head towards the next thing. So, right now, my main motivation is in the direction of the next main mission, or is meant to be aligned with my character's motivation. Now, other people are more strongly motivated in open world games by what, are more strongly motivated just to explore the world and try to, discover every inch of the map. And that's I do eventually want to do that, but I feel like I have trust in the game and the game's story. Its mission lines will carry me around the map, will pull me around the map in due time. So I don't necessarily need to have my own drive to explore every inch of the map. I feel like, you know, after playing games enough, after playing several types of these open world games where you have access to most of the map, or if not all of the map, right away, any good open world game worth its salt will take you in a path around the map anyway. So as long as I do the main mission quests, I'm going to be going through each and every one of these quadrants just by doing the main missions. I don't have to have my own personal drive. I don't have to bring that into the game. I can have some personal drive to explore, but I can also incorporate that personal drive to explore with the game's direction. I feel like that is a balance that I like to keep when I play the game. And you know, it's just my preferred way to play, and I figure other people playing the game, like I've noted before, might have a different balance where they totally want to just go after their own thing. They want to try and explore in their own direction, you know, totally ignore the main mission stuff, the way the game is trying to direct you. And that's fine too. That's, I think, any good open world game worth its salt will let you do that as well, and try to gate you, try to block you from certain areas of the game as little as possible. And so far in Assassin's Creed 4, it seems to be the case that it gates you as infrequently as possible. For the most part, it seems like you're able to explore the map at will. Now, to be fair, I am not really putting this to the test because of the way I am in general heading in the direction of the main mission. If I wanted to put it to the test, I would try and go in the opposite direction and see if there are areas in the game that are totally blocked off, or if there are more areas than I would expect to be blocked off. So, yeah, with that in mind, like, take my analysis here with a little grain of salt, because I'm not testing the limits in that regard. Like, I'm not gonna head down here without the game giving me sufficient reason to go down there. So, I'm only gonna go in so far as, you know, this direction. If I wanted to do a more thorough test of that, I would go this direction, but I'm not sure. It would be a considerable time investment just to go in this direction. Especially since I can't, like, fast travel to any of these locations. Any undiscovered location can't fast travel to, so I can't just go here at will. I have to actually make the journey there first, and then I'd be able to fast travel. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna stick to the general direction that the game is leading me towards, while also exploring in a very wide corridor. So, alright, where do I want to go next? I'll head in this direction. I can go whaling here, or I can actually go whaling here as well. There's a treasure chest over here as well. I don't want to go too far out of the way. I'll just, any other treasure chest I'll probably pick up later on. They don't seem to be too important. Lots of things I have to keep in balance, or try to balance out, is naval fleets. Let me see what's going on here. How these are doing. Okay, so no more docking space. This was the Hercules, which was part of that mission. 2254.25. Compare that to other things. Be better than this. Although it is a bit slower. Well, since these are identical, I can probably let go. I can probably salvage at least one of these. Or it seems to be identical to this one, actually. The question is, do I want to have more fast ships, or do I want to have more all-around ships? I think I'll get rid of this one. Salvage this one. And then add this one to my fleet. Seems to be pretty good. Let's look at the missions ongoing. Success, okay. Success. Okay, collectibles. Now let's see what other missions I can actually do. Nothing here. Nothing here either. I can do these, but they're considered dangerous, so I'm wondering if I should do them. Considering these are the only ones I can actually do, I'll only look at these. Consumption epidemic has been devastating this year. Doctors are busy experimenting with new physics and cures, and will need a steady supply of ingredients. Trade 5 olive oil carafes to New York's doctor's office. Okay. So if I send out my new ship, I'm a fairly good chance of success here, so I think I'm gonna send that one. Seems like I can only send one ship, which is a little different compared to this type of minigame. This I'm not sure what to exactly label this or call this minigame. In previous Assassin's Creed games, it's like a trading sort of menu-based mission minigame. Or I guess it's kind of like a very simplified version of a board game like Risk or something, but you know, not multiplayer. It's pretty much like a solitaire version of that. So yeah, it's a minigame, trading slash strategy minigame. Don't really like my odds of these. This one's got a 100% here. I'll take that. Okay, I also have a lot of these diamonds. I can invest them towards repairing my ship or... Okay, no resources, okay. Looks like that's all I can do for now. Still trying to get a grasp of how to maximize the whole fleet system, that minigame, because seems like I'm not being totally efficient, because I have ships essentially being idle in my harbor, whereas I could, in theory, should be sending out all my ships at once doing missions. Alright, next place here. Please don't ram me. As far as the Abstergo researcher in the present, who is doing this research in the Animus, you know, we're in theory we're playing as that researcher, playing as Edward, right? We are playing as a person who is in the Animus, controlling a simulation of the past, or a person's life that has already taken place in the past. So, you know, there are implications here of, you know, how much we can actually do as far as choice in the game, because this is, in theory, a pre-recorded story of Edward Kenway's life. Like, everything that everything we're experiencing here is something that he already did, or Edward Kenway has already made those choices. But the Animus kind of gives us flexibility to try and unlock the cause and effect chain of his history, essentially. I think that's probably a topic I should probably think about more before discussing, because it seems right now to be pretty complicated. That's probably something worth talking about. Alright, just want to get this treasure chest here. Alright, so about the Abstergo researcher, well, I guess I'm not sure if he's meant to be an unnamed character that we're going to find out later, or if he's just literally meant to be whoever the player is. Like, that player is just me exploring or researching the Animus as an employee of Abstergo. I guess it could be that, because it is in the first person that we see that stuff, so... as far as that, the researcher's motivation, the boss of Abstergo has given us the task of, you know, looking for Abstergo. Abstergo and the Templars are the ones who are trying to figure out where these trinkets are, these precursor artifacts. The whole point of delving back into the Animus here is we're trying to locate where these items ended up. So eventually, when Edward finds the observatory, which is, I guess, the trinket we're looking for now, the artifact we're looking for now, when he finds it, we will have a clue as to its final resting place. And from there, the present-day people who are doing the research will look for it to see if they can recover it. I guess that's the whole point from the present-day perspective. Now, yeah, from that perspective, it's an acceptable motivation. My only concern is with Edward. It seems like he doesn't have all that much of a stake in searching for this trinket. You know, putting his life at risk, putting his crew's life at risk, putting money on the line, his ship on the line. I mean, when he doesn't really know what it is, he just figures it might be worth something. And yeah, I guess those are the issues. It's basically just a shiny artifact to him. I mean, if he wants to get money, he's already doing what he needs to do to get money and resources. Just, you know, being a pirate, plundering, and whatnot. So, and that seems to be my main concern with the story so far. It's a bit tenuous as to why Kenway is doing all this. There's why Kenway's bothering with the whole... We have him on the line! Steady now, lads! The whole observatory thing. He don't like that! This is a little tougher. I shouldn't be doing this at night. A little more difficult. Where is this guy? Ah.
He's coming for us! Steady now, lads! He's turning the sea red! Stun him! He snapped the rope!
There he is.
Watch it, love! We have him on the line! He's off! Stung him! He's dead!
I still feel terrible about doing this whaling stuff, hunting in general. But gotta do it if you want to actually
Well done,
make any significant upgrades. Okay, looks like next stop, I want to head over here, Cape Bonavista. Let's see what that's all about.
Loose all and front start to the wind! Side the wind, for all is well!
I really winded myself with that whole discussion there. Maybe I need to pace myself a little bit more regarding the things I'm trying to discuss, things I'm trying to talk about in the game. Because these exploration moments will give me that break. In general, I also don't like moments of silence. I want to keep the experience filled with at least something to talk about. At the same time, I can overdo it. I don't want to talk too much. I can just from a physical perspective, I can like lose my voice and stuff. Because it helps that I don't do it too often anyway. Like I can't imagine how. I still can't imagine how streamers can just, professional broadcasters can do this for essentially like full work days at a time. They commit full 8-hour days, possibly sometimes even more, 12-hour days, streaming, constantly talking. Then again, I guess most streams aren't as talkative. They're just about the pure experience of playing the game, or it could also be esports related, where they, as a highly skilled player, will be playing a highly skilled game, and people are there just to watch them play their skills, and not necessarily there to hear them explain the skills. Well, a lot of those streams do go into exploration and teaching roles as well. Can't discount that. I also sometimes worry if I'm just like, if I just like the sound of my own voice too much. I'm talking when I don't need to talk. Maybe I should pace myself a little bit more, not worry about any moments of silence. When there's stuff to talk about, there will be stuff to talk about. Okay, so new area, not really directed to go to this city specifically, but worth checking out since it's on the way. Cape Bonavista. I wonder what this... We've been here before? I'm not sure. Alright, so, looks like this is like a horseshoe area where, like, it looks like there's a mountain range here. I can't just simply go through this way, I have to go around this horseshoe area. So, alright, yeah, this is a place I have been to before. This, I believe, is actually the first location when you first start the game. This is actually all the stuff that I missed when I started up here for the first time. Like all the viewpoints I've done already, but as far as exploring the rest of the area, yeah, some of the stuff I've already collected. Oh, this is huge deja vu. This is where I started. Like literally, this is the first place you see. As far as land goes, when you hit shore, first place, like this is where we're chasing the traitorous assassin through the forest. Now we're seeing it totally different light. It's really interesting to me exploring locations we've been to before much later in the game. There's like a long time interval in between. It's like you're seeing it I am seeing it in a totally different light than I was before. Like I am much more knowledgeable about what the game is all about at this point. A lot of the stuff that I missed, I won't necessarily miss this time because I know where to look. I have a clue to how environments are built, per se. Okay. Right, there's nothing in this area specifically. Climb over. Okay. Really curious revisiting this area again. It's just already done the sync point, we just have to continue on, dive on. Oh whoa, that's a jaguar. These skins will come in handy. Need them for upgrades and the like, as I mentioned before. Ton of stuff I missed as well. Surprising amount of stuff, but I think I was fairly concerned at the time with just doing the mission. And because I had an ongoing mission going on, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to get sidetracked and do this other random stuff. Chest is over there. If we go back to that very first mission, like the part 1 of this playthrough, and go back to it. Like, I think I explained then that I could walk off and just, you know, get everything in this area. But at the same time, I also felt a sense of urgency regarding the mission, even though I didn't have any time limit. Just it didn't make sense for me to do all this divergent path. Another long message here that I won't read on the stream, I'll read it off stream. And just another colorful little story bit to read about. So I guess with the whole problem there, I guess, or it's not really a problem, but it's what fancy theorists would call ludonarrative dissonance, where the in-game character's motivation and reasons for doing things, or just the general situation that we're seeing in the story at the time, it has a mismatch with what you're doing with the gameplay. So, for instance, diverging from the path to do some exploration, even though I can do that, I'm free to do that. Like, I didn't feel like doing it just because there would be a dissonance there between what I'd be doing and what my character was ostensibly trying to achieve at the time. And that's what I mean by, you know, by not making sense to abandon the chase to open these chests. So, okay, what else is here? Mark up the next chest. I'll just get everything here. I did say when I returned, I would, like, this would be the time for me to do the whole exploration thing. Oh, a boar. Oh, okay, I'll take it. Pretty sure most, if not all, the animals in this game have a related upgrade. So, as long as I just do one or two of them, I won't need to do any more hunting. I won't have to feel bad about doing this. Most games would try to avoid the whole issue of ludonarrative dissonance, to continue using that fancy term. I guess there are multiple ways that they can do that. One is, you know, by setting up an arbitrary pressure to force you into not diverging from the path. Like, say if I was chasing that assassin guy, the game could have put some sort of restriction on me to stay within a certain distance of that guy. A lot of the tailing missions or the chase missions would have that restriction. I guess that would force me into staying on the path, but I think since it was so early in the game, didn't want to put that restriction on me right away. It wanted me to ease into the game and let me go on my own pace. So I definitely prefer doing that, especially early on. I hate, in general, like, yeah, I really dislike whenever the game forces you to keep up with a certain thing. And to chase missions, in theory, are exciting. However, the fact that it restricts you to a very specific distance to your target, that restriction, you know, forces or dissuades any freedom to approach the mission how you want to. So if the dissonance between my character motivation and how I'm approaching the mission is a side effect of freedom, I think that is an acceptable side effect personally. Within reason. There might be instances where something would, you know, make total nonsense, and I'll perhaps want to avoid those, but it's really a case-by-case basis. No real telling what those would be. Okay, so where is? Let's go after a lot of things I'm missing here. There, eh? Interesting. I don't think I ever saw that portion of the area here. In essence, like, this whole island is just meant to be part of the introduction, right? Meant to acquaint you with the game. That's why I think it's just fairly... It is structured this way, where in a horseshoe, where you're... don't have a large area to explore, you're just going in a kind of linear path through this horseshoe. Because it's, you know, the first area in the game, it wants to ease you into the whole game. It doesn't want to overwhelm you with too large of an area to distract you. Okay, how do I get up there? Like, up here. So with that in mind, it's also strange to see all this extraneous areas like this one, which I didn't see the first time around. Because, I guess it only exists for people who return to the area to explore. That is its primary purpose, like, serve as exploration. I guess it's not that bad of a reason to have this portion of the area. Alright, next location, next chest. See, so now that we've returned to this area after several hours of playing the game, like, because we're seeing in a different light, we're essentially seeing through the whole design of the level. Like, we're able to see that stuff, whereas we couldn't really do that. We couldn't really do that before. We couldn't see through that illusion of how it's set up in a very specific way, because it is meant to be the starting area. But also with just tiny portions of it, I guess, for the purpose of people returning to the world. Or the world, the level. I'm assuming this whole thing here, this Mayan stele, would have been a thing that if we tried to do it early on, it would have been unapproachable because we hadn't been introduced to this mission yet. Okay, so that's it, right?
One more for the collection.
One down, many more to go. Okay, so next, the shanty. while I'm here, I guess my goal is just to leave no stone unturned, try to get everything possible. That way I don't feel compelled to return. Return to the area later on. Like, as long as I'm here, I might as well do everything. Give me a merry chase, Shanty. Oh, this is really taking me through the ringer here. Got it, okay. So I guess these shanties are literally I guess literal shanties in the game. Like once you get them, you unlock more songs to hear on the high seas. I guess your crew just will eventually sing that song. Fortunately, I don't think there's like a music selection mechanic to just sing a song at random. Okay, what else is left? Familiar area, I think this is where we fought the assassin. Where's this chest? Underneath, I guess? Yeah, I think it's underneath that waterfall. Okay, almost done. Through here. This was a nice little experience. Returning back to the starting area here. Oh, I have to climb back up, don't I? There's actually a ledge up there. Yep, okay. See if I can get back up. Oh, another one. As far as like the glyphs, for instance, that is something that my character Edward here, like, he can't see that stuff. That's something that doesn't actually exist in his world. Those glyphs are actually a fragment. A fragment of the animus. Yeah, it's an animus fragment. That's exactly what it is. So it's actually a sort of glitch or intentionally hidden program left by some random animus programmer. And they leave those there for, I don't know, to unlock some sort of message when you get enough of them or get all of them. That's everything, right? This thing over here. So those animus fragments are actually remind us of the fact that we are in the animus, and that someone else is seeing that stuff. That would be the animus researcher seeing that stuff. Now Kenway here, Edward Kenway, would have no reason to actually do that specific action because he's not seeing that animus fragment. I guess that would be an example of how the animus is causing us to live Edward Kenway's life in a way that he didn't experience, which is like a really weird thing to explore. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to discuss that portion of the animus. I don't think I can fast travel here, right? Can I fast travel here? Can I fast travel back to the ship? No, just here. I'm not gonna go all the way back. Fast travel to this location and then head back to the ship from there. Curious that they did not put one of these boat things over here so I can quickly get back to the ship. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Going the wrong way? Yeah, that's actually the wrong way. Climb back up. I'm gonna head this way. For a quick way down, hopefully. Yes, over here. Alright, so that was a fun little experiment. Return back to earlier portion of the game. We were able to see it in a different light, see it from the perspective of someone who's played the game a lot more. Discussed all of the things regarding that. Huh. Very curious. That was, I guess that was fun, so to speak, not necessarily thrilling or exciting, but from a curiosity perspective and from just exploratory perspective, it's interesting to come back to this area. But done everything, so that'll be the end of that area. We won't necessarily need to come back to here ever again unless a mission brings us back for whatever reason. So I think I will do one more thing. Maybe I want to go back to Havana. Havana is actually discover a new place, or we haven't done everything in Havana, so maybe I want to give that a shot. Yeah, I think I'll head to Havana, do a few more things there.
More sail! All sail! Topsails, gallants, and royals!
And probably end the stream soon. Let's see. I think there's an island over here. Nah, I won't take too much of a detour. Maybe later. Do I want to try this fort over here? That's actually pretty far. You know what? I have enough time. Maybe I do want to try the fort. About the same distance away. That'll be a more exciting way to end. Another fort. This will unlock all of the other various discoveries in the area. I'll point them out. So straight over there. The wind is also in our favor. I'm pretty sure at this point we can conclude that the whole wind system is a little bit more of an illusory barrier. Sometimes it's an obstacle, but most of the time it's just there to make because it makes sense from a sailing perspective to have to deal with the wind. Like, there's really no penalty for going against the wind in this game. Like, you still go pretty fast even when you have your full sails up and going totally against the wind. It's just not that much of a big deal. It's enough of a deterrent to, or not a deterrent, but it's enough of a concern. I guess that's the word I want to look for. A sailing, just an aspect of sailing that you have to deal with. So. Looks like, yeah, this fort only has one dot above it, above the icon, so that's telling me that it's probably easier than the other ones, and the other forts that I've tried. Okay, so can I... Yeah, let's mortar this thing. Get a little closer, actually. Oh, whoops. Meant to do this. Yeah, I definitely feel like it is easier. Their overall firepower is much less than the other forts. And their accuracy is pretty bad too. Got one defense left. Okay, so I didn't want to release, I wanted to dock there. I think I'll have just enough time to take out this fort and probably end right around here.
Let's catch some wind, lads.
I want to take a moment to appreciate all the animation work that went into just like your ship and your crew on everything focused on here. Like, notice that not only are all the crewmates doing their own thing and they're moving at will, but they're also a lot of the dialogue, at least in the story moments, are even voice or even synced to the voice dialogue. It's pretty impressive on that front. The amount of work that must have went into just your ship. Like you could probably guess that an entire team of people went into just the ship and the crew and the whole mechanization of that animation, voice work, modeling, everything there. Here, back to the actual. How do I get up here? Here, I think. Still not sure if, like, all these allies marked in blue on my map, if they're meant to be my crewmates, or if they're, like, opportunist allies who kind of all rush in once the fort is defenseless. What else is here? I think I can get these treasure chests later. The captain dude's over there. Loot first. Okay. Yeah, this was a fairly easy one, just like it said. Not much to it. The other one. Definitely more exciting. Yeah, maybe these easier ones would have been better to practice the whole fort capturing thing. Okay, so everything in this quadrant of the map is going to be revealed to us now. Oh, I wonder what that is. Legendary ship. Interesting. Probably going to be a man of war. Maybe fight that later on. Not right now. Yeah, so everything in this basically like a sync point for the broader map. Everything is revealed here. Okay, so unlocks a naval contract here. And while I'm here, let me just get these treasure chests, and then I think I'll end the stream there. Kind of annoying that they warp me back to the beginning of the map here. I guess it's easier to access the whole of the fort now. A lot of doors are open when they weren't before. Final one here. Alright. That should be everything here except for the naval contract, which I can do the first thing in the next stream. So while I get back to the beginning here, I will wind it down. If you tuned in, thank you very much for watching. You can also watch all the archives of my stream over on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/YamsterSam. You can also follow me on Twitter at YamsterSam. And if you like what I've been doing here with my Let's Plays, focused on commentary and analysis rather than just playing the game, I think I like doing that extra bit of or that extra layer to my Let's Play of the game. If you like that, hit follow on my stream, and you can watch me as I play the game in the future. So with that, I hope to see you next time, and I will bid you adieu later.